How do you assess the situation in your country right now, this morning?
Well, it's a huge tragedy, sir. It's a real disaster. What this war criminal have done to my country and to my people. This is a humanitarian crisis. People are leaving the country, huge crowds of refugees. He's shelling hospitals. He's killing innocent people. He's shelling schools. So that's a real disaster, sir. But Ukrainian military stands firm, and he didn't get what he expected. He believed that this would be a kind of lightening journey for his bloody military. No, we are fighting like hell against this Nazi-style dictator who is Putin.
Can you beat him? Can the Ukrainian military defeat the might of the Russian army?
No one expected this kind of very strong resolve and resilience that Ukrainian army already showed. No one. And experts underestimated Ukrainian strengths. As for now, what is needed for Ukraine? We urgently need to deliver fighter jets, anti-missile weaponry, anti-aircraft missiles, in order to fight against Putin.
Do you think that a no-fly zone is necessary? The current Prime Minister has asked for a no-fly zone, but there are grave concerns in NATO that implementing one would be seen. In fact, Putin confirmed yesterday he would perceive that to be an act of war, and obviously the rest of the world is gravely concerned about those consequences.
Well, here is the thing. It would be great if NATO decides to have a no-fly zone. If you don't have this option on the table, I urge NATO and I urge our partners in the free world to ship to Ukraine fighter jets, to ship to Ukraine manpads. This could underpin and support Ukrainian military. In terms of act of war, let me remind you that yesterday Putin already said that all these very stiff and tough sanctions that have been imposed on Russia is already an act of war. It means that Russia really feeling the pain. So let me ask your fellow citizens, the citizens of the free world, do not buy Russian goods. Don't buy Russian oil. Don't buy Russian gas. Get rid of Russian assets. Press on Putin, on Russia, and on Russian people. Russian people have to realize that they need to bear the brunt, to pay the price for supporting Putin that is killing innocent Ukrainians.
But will that solve this crisis? Are sanctions really an end, or is it just punishing a country for the actions of one man? Do you think it's realistic to think that the people of Russia or the people inside the Kremlin will turn on Putin?
I believe yes. Ramp up sanctions. Do more. Press harder. And because we are living in a completely different world. Sanctions is another, I say this is a very strong tool. This is the very strong, not just the cyanide, but actions. If Russian people realize that this is due to Putin, they stay in a very dire economic and financial stance, they will raise. They will fight. So we need the Russian people to realize that this is their fault, that Putin is in Kremlin and Putin is invading independent countries. So sanctions, lethal weapon, stand united, and Ukrainian military that is fighting like hell against Russia. This is the only option we have on the table against this Hitler.
OK, let me ask you perhaps an impossible question, but it is the question that everybody is asking themselves just now. Where does this end, do you think? How does this end?
We have only one option on the table. Ukrainian victory, period. Because this is the victory of Ukraine and this is the victory of the free world. We have to defend our country, we have to defend our people, and we are defending you and our joint and common values. So there is no other options. Otherwise, Putin will go further. And his idea is to invade Eastern Europe. His idea is to commit atrocities and crimes in the UK, in different countries. So his idea is to undermine the free world.
Well, look, many thanks indeed. There is not much optimism to be taken from this. But Arseny Yacenyuk, former Prime Minister of Ukraine, many thanks indeed for being with us this morning.